Hi, everyone. How's the volume? Seems low. Seems a little low. Can you take me one into the red, maybe? Yeah, one into the red. Test, test. Is that better? Okay. We've got a lot of stuff to go over today and some really exciting things to show you. But we're going to start with Phil with his things to talk to you about and exciting things to show you. You're up. Oh, and we're going to start with Phil.
Hello, hello. Phil Cavallo, Director of Dining. How's everybody today? It's very bright in here. It's good new paint. Couple of quick things to go over. There's been some scuttlebutt about produce and what is organic and what is not organic. So I will try to clarify some things right now. So the Dirty Dozen is a list of 12 produce items that have the most pesticides by environmental working groups report. So we're trying to clear the pesticides out of our food to the best of our ability. So what we've done so far from the Dirty Dozen: blueberries, spinach, baby kale, strawberries, red grapes, red apples, and red potatoes are all on the Dirty Dozen list that have all been changed to organic. We also have mixed greens and romaine that are all organic, that are not on the Dirty Dozen, but we figure they're the majority of the vegetables. We might as well bring them in anyway. The remaining 3 items on the Dirty Dozen that we haven't changed over yet, but will: tomatoes, celery, and bell peppers. So by end of month, we'll probably have everything into the organic world that we need to for the reduction of the pesticides. We have a kitchen tour set up for this Friday. A kitchen tour. Meet in the bistro at 11 o'clock to see Jared, because he's our kitchen tour guru. Other than that, we've got our bi-weekly barbecues for the summer. We have one tonight in Independent Living, so come on down and enjoy it. We alternate over at the health center for skilled nursing. We are still doing omelets in assisted living, and Garden View gets barbecues as well. Other than that, that's really all I have to share. I'm open for questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
When will we find out if we achieved the showcase status again?
So my boss was in doing the walkthrough last week. He is here tomorrow, probably with the results.
Okay, so just so everybody remembers, we were appointed a showcase level account with Sodexo, which I think, if I remember correctly, only 4 or 6% of their national client.
7%.
Okay, 7%. So a small number. So we're very proud of that. So our fingers are crossed, and I have all the faith in you.
Thank you. It seemed to have gone very well. We nailed everything we needed to nail and continue to strive for greatness. So I hope it's working.
Starting in August, I guess, we're
Corn.
gonna have available local grown vegetables. Are we gonna be using corn, tomatoes, et cetera, et cetera?
Anything that we get local from our produce purveyor that has been signed off on as healthy, we will be bringing in locally. Yes. Will it be corn from up the road? They're not part of our distribution, but it will be local corn from. The corn is within 50 miles, so it's not. What's the name of the farm? It's not Wallkill, but it is similar. Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. The reason for that, Lionel, is because Sodexo has very rigorous standards to approve vendors, and they have to meet a whole bunch of criteria related to food safety, how they're growing and procuring and paying their employees and all kinds of things. And a lot of the local businesses and local farms can't meet those standards, nor do they want to pay the fees to do that. So it's a little bit of a catch-22. All right, I saw some more hands. Betsy?
How often are you going to have barbecues for IL, independent living?
They are every third week, every 3 weeks. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Jared's actually working on that email to send to Jason as well. So his team knows for table setup.
What is the status of the takeaway containers?
I have ordered the new clear on clear 3-compartment containers. As soon as they come in, we're going to roll them out. It's very similar to the black on clear within pennies. So no difference.
Other questions for Phil? Anybody have any questions for Jared? Or Jared, do you want to say anything? Okay. All right. Next.
Thank you. Tom?
Hello, I'm Tom Tango, Director of Plan Ops. I don't have anything major to say or announce. A lot of things are in progress. Some of you, I'm sure, have heard the rumor about that we're going to be cutting all the grass with goats. We are looking into goats to clear their rear slope. But right now, that's all it's doing is looking into it. There's a lot of factors that have to get figured out first. So we are looking into it. And if it works, then that'd be great. And we'll let you know more as soon as we know it. But for right now, it's nothing definite, and it's just all research right now. So I'll just say, any questions?
Ina, I'm coming to you.
What was the reason the all-day testing yesterday of the alarms?
Oh, all right. Yesterday, today, and maybe tomorrow. Every quarter, we have to have the fire suppression system tested, the sprinkler system. That has to happen every quarter. And like a lot of we just put sprinklers in the attics for a number of reasons. Yesterday was the first quarterly test that included those systems. And to get those inspected, they have to run some water once a year. So what happened yesterday will happen again in a year. The number of times you heard the panel go off. That was something that we just didn't anticipate, and I didn't realize that was going to happen. And we can make some arrangements next time. But the important thing is that every quarter, our system gets inspected by the certified tester. And that testing gets reviewed by New York State DOH when they come, and it gets reviewed by the Village of New Paltz, fire inspector, building inspector. So while, hearing those sounds wasn't pleasant, in some way, you can rest assured that, we are testing the fire sprinkler system every quarter. And that system is working quite well.
I'll just piggyback on that, Tom, because yesterday and throughout the course of this week, I've received some questions about how Woodland Pond is distinct from the assisted living home in Fall River that had the catastrophic fire over the weekend. Many of you probably have heard about that. 9 residents died, which is one of the largest losses of life that Massachusetts has had in a very, very long time. And it's obviously something that we think about. So when we got the news, this is something that we immediately sent to our team to look into and say, what can we learn from this? Right now, there's not a lot of information available as to exactly what happened. If you've read the articles, the people that were there and survived indicated that the fire went over very quickly. One of the things that I read was that the building was supposedly equipped with sprinklers and a fire suppression system. Whether or not those activated, I haven't seen that yet. I don't know if anyone else has. I also read that that building was wood frame construction, and our health center is steel frame construction. Independent living is wood frame, but the building code for when we were built in 2009, well, we opened in 09,
Yeah.
was significantly different in terms of the fire rating and how you have the building materials that you need to use than when that building was constructed in 64. So as we get additional information, we will let you know. A couple things that are of note for all of you. We do full evacuation drills of every unit in the health center every year. And we do tabletop drills on evacuating health center all the time. The reason that we don't do them in independent living is because the instruction of the fire chief is that it would be very rare and unusual that we would evacuate, especially the entire building, because the way that the building is constructed, you'd have to have something catastrophic happen simultaneously in multiple different places. But I think it would be good to probably get the fire chief back in,
Wouldn't hurt, yeah.
just to let the residents have an opportunity for Q&A. New fire chief. That would be good. So we can have the new fire chief come in, do a presentation to all of you, see if he gives the same advice about sheltering in place as the last did. This way it gives you an opportunity to ask questions. Obviously, safety is very important to us and very important to you. So why don't we try to get that scheduled in the next 2 months?
Yeah, let me talk to him, yeah.
Okay. Ronnie, Sue, I'm going to come to you and then I'll come to you, Betsy.
Tom.
Yep.
About the goats.
Okay.
If you do get the goats,
Right,
the only thing I would be concerned about is blocking the view with an ugly fence.
and like I say, and for any, and the other, like I said, there's a lot of things we're looking into.
So you're
That's
looking at,
one of them. So when, if we're going to proceed with this, there'll be plenty of time where I'll invite more questions when we have all the answers. But that is something that needs to be factored in if we do it. Yeah. Yep. And they also taste good.
Why, when you test the sprinkler system and the fire alarm system, is our water so dirty? And when is that
Because-
going to clear up?
Because yesterday when he turned to test the attic systems the first time, he needed to fill them with water. And when he did, the fire pump kicked on. And when the fire pump kicks on, it churns up water from the pipe. That's just how, when the pump kicks on, it takes so much water that whatever residual is sitting in the pipe gets churned. It's normal. The water is still potable, it just doesn't look great, and it'll clear as soon as people run water. So if there's brown water in your apartment right now, just let the water run a bit. It'll clear. And if something happens, like if the water doesn't come out of your sink well, let us know. But yesterday it was just a little brown, that's all. But that's just how it is. Sorry.
Yesterday I did my laundry at 8:30. I didn't know anything about brown water, and I got called at about 9:30. And the laundry was ruined, and then I rewashed it, and most of it came out. But
Yeah,
not
it'll
all-
come out.
But not all of it.
No, and if you wash it again, it will. Yesterday, when he came to test, I'm going to say we, but the we is I, just didn't know that he had to fill the systems and he was going to turn pumps on. We just didn't know it. And I also never knew that the valves that are hooked up to the system, currently we can't silence them, but we will. Again, this is all new. The level of safety is greater, and some of the factors that got put into it It's just a learning curve of stuff we have to deal with. That's all.
I'm just looking at the time. I think barring any other questions, we should move on to the next.
And I apologize, but Rob will be next.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robert Dunn, Director of Environmental Services. The only thing I have this week is Carrie mentioned annuals. She put out about 25 calls to residents for their annuals, and she got about 1 call back. So if you get that call from Carrie, please return it so we can get your annual scheduled. All right, we just need to keep moving on them so we don't fall behind. And she's done a really good job at keeping up on that and doing that annually. So I'll take any quick questions so I can move along since Tommy was so long-winded. No questions? Perfect, thank you. Who's going? Bridget?
Hi, everybody. I'm Bridget Blum, Director of Human Resources, and I just want to thank you again for your participation in the blood drive. That was just a couple of weeks back. We hit our target, as we always do, so I'm very thankful. And coming next week, you'll start to hear and see advertisements for Senior Living Week. If you remember, I talked about it last meeting, and we've been doing this every year since we opened. It is our annual celebration, employee appreciation. We don't celebrate or recognize each of the individual departments' sort of work week that they have. We save it all and do it at one time, and that's called Senior Living Week. So the 21st to the 25th, which is Monday through Friday of next week, lots of different activities for the employees that will be taking place in sort of the pub area and out on the lawn. We have the food truck on the Wednesday for lunch. We are kicking off the week with departmental breakfasts for our staff. So you might, see or hear some about that. There's no expectation or, we're not asking the residents to get involved in any way or, I just want you to know what's happening. The bake sale that's happening on Monday is something that you can partake in if you'd like to purchase something from the bake sale. Absolutely, we would love that. And then we also have some raffle baskets that we're going to be selling raffle tickets for throughout the week. And last year, residents wanted to get involved in purchasing raffle tickets if they were able. And so that's also something that you can participate in. Otherwise, the events that are planned for the week are employee exclusive, and we thank you for your understanding for that, and just hope that when you see an event, you remember to congratulate the staff, say thank you, and you really do a wonderful job with that every year. So that's what's going to be happening. And I don't know if you saw, Michelle had, Jason, you want to hold it up? That water bottle. Each year we give the staff a gift for Senior Living Week. Shh, it's a surprise. They don't know. But this is this year's gift. So it's a really nice water bottle, very in fashion and popular. So
It was Dave Smith can attest to.
yes. Oh, perfect. Okay. Any questions for me? All right. Thank you all. Terrell? We're saving Dave Roberts for last because he's got the big show.
Good afternoon, everybody. Terrell Fairley, Manager of IT and Cybersecurity here at Woodland Pond. Just a couple of quick updates for everybody. The first thing that I want to mention is related to tech assistance. So especially for our new residents here, in the tech department, we do offer technical services for folks who do have issues with their TVs, their smartphones, their audio visual in their apartments and such. So reach out to us if you guys have any concerns or questions with those types of items. The next on my list is Windows 10. So Windows 10 is going, and Microsoft coins the term end of life on October 14th. Okay, so what that means is that anybody who has Windows 10 needs to really consider the upgrade feasibility of their computers, right? Some computers have the ability to upgrade to Windows 11 and some computers don't. Okay, so for the folks who have Microsoft Windows based computers, take a look at your computer. You can do a Google search, or someone from my department, the technical department, can come and show you folks how to verify whether or not your computer supports the update to Windows 11 or not. If it doesn't, that means you need to consider purchasing a new device, whether it's a replacement Windows PC or if you want to go to a new platform like an iPad or some type of tablet. Okay, any questions about that?
Terrell, can you explain what the exposures are if you don't upgrade?
Absolutely. So that's a very good question. I've had similar questions in the past. Another resident asked, well, what if I don't upgrade my computer? Is my computer going to stop working? The answer is no. Okay, the computer will still remain working. However, to Michelle's point, you don't get Microsoft Windows update security updates, essentially. Okay, and the security updates are important for us and our computers because those are, as the name implies, what keeps our computer safe. Okay, so without the updates, without the security updates, and there are other updates that won't get put on your computer as well if it's out of support or end of life, but the security updates is the key. Okay, so if anybody needs help, reach out to the concierge desk. Someone like myself or Cameron can come and validate with you if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. Okay. The next and last on my list here. So I wanted to talk quickly about accessibility options. So Cameron and I will be putting together a tutorial-based class for folks who are interested in taking advantage of some of the accessibility options that our new technology has. And by the way, technology is always changing, as we all know. So as technology changes, different evolutions in accessibility options are available to us. So we will be holding a tutorial-based class in the classroom. I don't have a date solidified for that yet, but just be on the lookout for that as well. So
What kind of examples?
accessibilities. So one thing that we talked about in the past was fall detection, right? So that's kind of an accessibility option. Some other options are related to folks who have vision impairment, hearing impairment, things of that nature. So there are accessibility options like zooming in on the screen to make things more legible, and other options as well. So does that answer your question? Okay, perfect. Any other questions before I leave? No questions? Great. Jason.
I am Jason Irish, now Director of Resident Life here at Woodland Pond. I haven't been at Management Q&A probably for 2 months, so I'm happy to be back. I've got a long list, so I'll try to get through it. I know Dave has a bunch of things he wants to talk about. First thing is 2 months ago, we did a pickleball outing that had about 10 to 12 residents, maybe close to 15. We've got another one coming up next Friday, the 25th. Currently, we only have 5 residents signed up. If anyone is interested in signing up, reach out to Matt, our fitness coordinator. We had a great outing the last time. We get to-go lunches from dining. It's a great day. If we don't get more participants this time, we may look to push until August or September when we get some cooler weather. The next thing, we have a Hudson River Rip Van Winkle cruise scheduled for tomorrow. Currently, we have 3 tickets available. If anybody is interested, stop by the concierge desk. Again, that's a Rip Van Winkle cruise from Kingston. 3 tickets available if anyone's interested. Stop by the concierge. Free? No, 3. There are 3 tickets. 3. I think it's $37 or $33.50 the ticket. I hope so. It might be a different boat. I don't know. Next month we're going on a different cruise that'll show up. We're putting trip sheets out today too for next month for August, and there's a different boat we're going to be going on next month. I didn't hear about any issues with the boat. I think we're still going. This Saturday we will not have shopping. There are 2 trips this Saturday, one in the morning and one in the afternoon evening. So shopping is canceled for this Saturday. We will resume on Wednesday of next week. Here's some things coming up down the line here. So most of you have probably heard about the activities committee we are forming. We have asked for resident engagement or resident feedback and resident participation. Some residents have filled out the questionnaire that they want to participate in the committee. Any resident that's interested in joining the committee, that registration form or questionnaire is due by next Friday, the 25th. And then Carrie and I will go through the applicants and make a decision on the committee. Again, that's activities committee coming soon. Looking for any interested resident by next Friday, the 25th. Here's one thing that's coming up down the line too that we're trying to plan. We're shooting for November. We're planning to have a murder mystery dinner here in our dining room. We went to both the dining committee just for approval on that, and it was all for it. So we're looking for early November on a Sunday night where we wouldn't, or we may still have the brunch. We haven't talked about that, but we're going to have dinner that night and have a murder mystery in the dining room. A company will come in, do the performance. It'll be a great night. The company name is Acme Mystery Theater Troupe or something like that. Acme Mystery Theater Company, something. I'm going to jump into a bunch. Well, actually tonight, we are going to see the West Point Band at Vanderbilt Mansion. We're leaving at 5:45. We have 2 vehicles going. There are a few open seats. If any resident is interested in going that's not currently on, stop by the concierge desk. Any resident that is going, bring a lawn chair or sit in the grass or stand. But they say there's no seating there, and we leave at 5:45 tonight. The next thing we have in the next week or two, we're going to be installing, or maybe this week, we're going to be installing lights under the awnings in the courtyard by the dining rooms and the pub. They're just string lights to just give it more ambiance. We're planning for something next month, but the lights are going to go up either this week or early next week. So keep an eye out for those. They're not spotlights. They're not going to shine in any apartment. They're just going to be nice, ambiance for the area. Here's just a couple of things I always talk about for any new resident. When mail comes in, if it's not properly labeled with your apartment number, it will go to the concierge desk. So make sure you're checking your mail folder at the desk. All mail that doesn't go to your mailbox will end up there somehow, some way. Make sure you know where your PERS pendant is. I know I'm bouncing around here. PERS pendants, should be checked every time you have if you don't use it, within a certain amount of time. Anytime there's a preventative maintenance check that maintenance comes and does the filters and smoke heads and checks your apartment, you should be testing your PERS at that time too. So make sure you know where it is and make sure you're testing it. We do monitor to make sure the battery is changed on a regular basis if it needs it, but just make sure you know where it is. Transportation. So for medical appointments, for those of you who, most of you know, but those of you that don't know, we offer medical transportation 5 days a week to designated locations on every single day. We go to certain places. We ask for 72 hours notice. Again, this is for most of the residents that don't know about this, but everybody should. 72 hours notice for all medical appointments. I know I'm rambling here. I need to move on. Move a little faster. Next thing I want to talk about, Lucy Muller's in the back. There's no charge for medical transportation if it's on the day we go there. So if you have an appointment in Kingston on a Tuesday, there's no charge. If you have an appointment in Kingston on a Friday and we take you, there's a $45 charge for an off-schedule trip, but no charge, most cases. So talking about Lucy, I'm currently helping her, assisting her in selling a vehicle. The process is going pretty smooth. If any resident here currently has a vehicle that they do not drive or are looking to get rid of, reach out. We can help you, find a new owner for the car. We don't want them sitting here in the parking lot, collecting dust, dying. So yeah, just let me know. And, Lucy can attest to it and some other residents can attest that, we'll help you get rid of the car if you need to. Well, maybe. I'll get back to you on that. You still looking for one? No. I could go longer, but no, any questions? No. I'm walking away. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. All right, I'm just going to take a minute, just a couple things, and then we're going to go to Dave. I wanted to make an announcement about Lindsay. So my assistant, Lindsay, on the 27th of this month is going to officially have a new title and a little bit of a new role. This was in recognition of the fact that Lindsay does a fantastic job and I don't delegate enough things to her to keep her busy. So Jason needs help. And so will our chief operating officer when that person is hired. So Lindsay's new title will be executive coordinator, and she will maintain her role assisting me with what I do delegate, keeping my calendar and those kinds of things, and being my gatekeeper for my office and the board responsibilities. The bulk of her job, or a lot of what she's going to be doing, is going to be to support Jason. And she's going to be helping him, or even potentially directly supervising certain parts of his staff. But really kind of as his department continues to grow and Lindsay has really proven her capability, we wanted to give her a promotion, a little bit more in her paycheck, actually a good amount more in her paycheck. We think she deserves it. We wanted you to know. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you watched, well, I know my addresses have been very long lately. And on one hand, I apologize for that because I know that it gets tiresome, but I think it's all good information, or most of it is. Yesterday, I announced that today there was going to be a meeting at the Ulster County Capital Resources Corp., which is one of the milestones that we need to achieve to move our financing forward. And we went and the first approvals that we needed to receive were obtained this morning. So we're very excited about that. Dave doesn't know this yet, but since we talked this morning, in addition to getting the CRC approval, we got approval from Mike Kieran on the language for the bond documents. So that's the Department of Health. Delay that we had been waiting on got cleared up. So we are able to keep continuing moving that forward. So at this point, assuming that everything continues to go as we are expecting it currently, we're looking at closing on the debt, the first round of debt, on the week of September 22nd. So we're officially moving forward on things again. And we're going to get into a lot more details about that. We're also going to be scheduling a specific meeting to talk about the capital campaign, to go over the additional questions that came up in the survey. I want to publish those questions to all of you so that you can see the questions that your neighbors have asked. And then we will be having our panel of the 3 financial people from the board to answer questions that folks had about tax benefits, how to split this over years, how do you do the financial planning. So again, we still have not made a decision, but we're continuing to move forward in the research process. Very soon you will see that coming onto the calendar. And with that, wait, does anybody have any questions for me on anything?
The article I sent you this morning?
Oh, yes. Okay. Betsy sent an article this morning, which I think was from the Freeman. Was it an op-ed? Okay. It was related to... It read like an opinion piece, but regardless, it was talking about, the potential impacts of the changes in the enforcement for immigration on more specifically healthcare, and some of the concerns that are being raised by certain healthcare providers on, potentially having their workforces impacted. So we have 280 employees-ish. So currently of the 280 employees that we have 3 that potentially could be impacted if the immigration laws are enforced as they intend to be. 3 of them are full-time, 3 of 3. 2 are direct care, 1 is in housekeeping. Bridget has a call with our attorney this afternoon to talk about, potential implications and to discuss each of their individual cases with our labor attorney. So that's the answer to that. So there are people here that will be impacted, but it's not something that's going to greatly impact our workforce.
Source you hire from is diminished?
No, not at all. Betsy has our source of where we hire from diminished, and the answer to that is no, because we don't hire through the foreign national networks. So a lot of healthcare companies, particularly like in New York City and so forth, they don't have enough direct care workers in their regions to be able to do the direct care. So they actually enter into contracts to go recruit personnel abroad. Mohonk actually does this. Some of you may know that. And I don't know how they're being impacted, and I should because I'm on the board. But I haven't asked the question. But so in certain industries, it's just common to send recruiters to different countries, and in certain countries coming to the United States to, for example, provide direct care as a CNA or an HHA is a very lucrative job for these folks. So of course, anything that we can do to, retain these staff members, we will do. And a lot of that starts with our attorney and those discussions. But I would say, for us, it's not going to be a significant impact. For those individuals, it will be a big impact.
Before we jump to Dave, this, again, I haven't been here for a few Q&As, and normally we give like a formal introduction to new staff at like a a higher level than just entry level, but Carrie Kohler is our new activities coordinator. She started the first week of June. Just want to say hello. You want to say anything or no? Quick hello.
Hi. For those who haven't met me, I'm Carrie. And if you have not popped into my office, I'm right next to Sarah. So if you go, you know where Sarah's office is. So pop in, say hi. If you're interested in the activities committee, you can find an interest form in the mailroom or in concierge, or I printed some in my office. Please fill it out if you would like. And yeah, so glad to be here.
On that note, actually, we should do the same thing with Liz at some point. Sarah's not here right now, but Annika, whose last name I'm forgetting at the moment, is the social worker that's going to be coming in for independent living. She's going to be starting between now and the next management Q&A. So you will get to meet her. She's a doll. You guys are going to just absolutely love her. She's going to fit in fantastically. I cannot wait for you all to meet her, and she's going to be a great addition to the staffing complement. Are you ready, sir? It is a big buildup.
Good afternoon. Dave Roberts. I'm the Capital Projects Manager here at Woodland Pond. And I was going to lead by saying that Michelle and I are feeling very upbeat about the way things are progressing through the DOH and DFS. Now finding out that we have even more reasons to be more upbeat. And what that means is that I think you mentioned our closing. We're looking at the third week of September to close on our bonding. And of course, what that means for our construction is that we're now able to give more information to Wolson, our construction manager. We're very open with them about this process, where we are, and we're able to say to them, all right, you know, it looks like we will be able to start October 1 or thereabouts with construction on the work on the community building. So that's pretty exciting. Our concern here was that if it was going to, be delayed, we'd be pushed into missing the fall, the ability to start to do construction outside in the fall and have to wait till spring. But we're feeling very upbeat now about starting in the fall around October. So that's good. It's really good news. And what that also means is that we are concentrating on looking at the schedule, the phasing, to fully understand now that we have all the construction in this phase 1 for the community building, what that changes in terms of our overall schedule and how we phase things and how we're going to maintain the amenities to all the residents while we are under construction. So all good news there. On the call yesterday with our investment banker, I said, well, once we get the closing, how quickly can we get access to the money? And Keith answered, well, hours. And then he said, well, minutes. So, it'll be, once we have that closing, as I say, we will have Wolson fully on board in advance for them to hit the ground running. So what I want to go through, the other thing I wanted to mention is during the last month, we've really started to gear up on design for the satellite on the Erman property. And so we're looking at those designs. I did mention this in my last Friday's address, but that's starting to advance, and we're pretty excited about the development there. One thing that I'm looking at is a NYSERDA grant towards paying for the design of like a geothermal system for the satellite, and that initial grant is not for the actual construction, but it's for the investigation and design of a geothermal system. So that's due by the end of the month, but we're working on that in order to, as I say, cover some of the design costs for that approach. So let's talk about the Performing Arts Centre. I have some new renderings, interior renderings to share with you. But I just wanted to remind you, I think we shared this with you a while ago, and this is the view from the outside And what you see on the left-hand side is the existing portico. I hope that's the right, that's existing portico. And this is the new pack here, which I think blends in really, really nicely with the existing building. I think once it's built, you will not realize that it's an addition to the existing campus, although it really does enhance the front of the building. The main entry is not from the exterior, it'll be from the inside. And just to further orientate you, this is the library behind, the top of the library building behind. So this is the view that we're looking at. And just forgive me for a second while I switch to another image. Yep. Yeah, I'm just going to go. Why is this not? My arrow's jumping around. There we go. Oh, almost. Phew. Actually, while I'm talking, can you just get that image? So we just received this this morning, and what I have is some various scenes for this space. So this is the interior of the Performing Arts Centre. You can come zoom out a little more. Oh, it doesn't? All right, so, but zoom up, go up, because when you look up, you'll see the trusses up above with the windows above, and I think it's unfortunate that we can't see the whole image. No? It's a tease. Oh, close. Yep. There you go. Excellent. All right. So there's the full view. Thanks, Terrell. We'll get there eventually. There we go. So you can see that, there's wood trusses above. Here, I'll get my pointer. The chairs have not been selected yet, and we'll go through that process. Everyone will get to sit in the chairs. But what you'll see here is, obviously the stage with a wood proscenium. You can see that there are speakers on each side. There's a stair going up on each side of the stage, and then along the side we have this area where artwork can be hung with a system that's a track along the top of the wall, so that it creates it easy to hang the artwork with really good lighting that lights that entire wall. And then above, you have acoustic panels up high here, as well as along these sections here. That's all been designed with uplighting and these larger lights as well. So I think it's a really elegant space. I think it speaks to the Hudson Valley as well as, to Woodland Pond. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. If you want to go to the next image. Yep. So this is a sort of a nighttime view, movie night. You'll see that the blackout shades have closed up above. They're electric blackout shades so that you can have performances during the day. all the theatrical lighting is actually hidden behind the trusses when there's a theatrical performance. We also have speakers that are up high as well, but done in such a way that they're not hanging into the space. And once again, that is the size of the screen. So it's a very, very large screen, which can be used for presentations as well as for things like movies. And you want to show the next image. And this is, just representing a banquet setting. So you have the dance floor in the middle, and it gives you an idea of the different uses of the space. But once again, we've had all our consultants work on the acoustics, the sound and lighting. So it's all really easy to use, but really, really effective for all the many uses that this space will be utilized for. Exactly. So it's a flat floor, but it's a 36-inch raised stage so that everyone in the auditorium gets a clear view of the stage and of the performance. And I'll just, you can go to so this is the floor plan. And obviously this shows the performance with all the chairs. So there's over 200 seats within the space. But when you look at the sides, these are storage areas for seating so that all those seats can be cleared out and stored. They're not, if necessary, for different types of events. And then if we work from the lobby here to, as you come in, on one side there'll be coat storage. On the other, this can be used as a concession stand or ticketing. And then there's obviously a sound lock so that outdoor noise doesn't affect what's going on inside the main auditorium. And there's also back here is the control booth for sound and lighting, which is backed up actually by controls adjacent to the stage as well. So when there's a smaller performance or less people controlling, they can still control all that from the stage. This shows the piano on the stage, and that can easily be rolled to back of house so that it's out of the way when it's not needed. And I think what's also really important is that on this side, we have stairs up to the stage so that if you have a larger cast, they can actually move from the library side onto the stage without being in the auditorium. And then adjacent to that is a lift for wheelchairs so that people who need a lift can get up onto the stage without needing to use the stairs. The bathrooms are actually in this block here. So they're immediately outside the lobby. They're not shown on here because generally bathrooms aren't terribly interesting to use to show on the rendering. Or however, we do show a bathroom back here. We have a bathroom back of house for performance, and then there's a green room here and storage. And then this office here is actually a part of the new build, but that will be part of the library. So that's the plan. They're the renderings that we have. Do I have any questions? Oh yes, yep. So we have an exit here, directly to the outdoors, and then there are doors here that will exit through the library to the main area. So you can imagine at the end of a performance, they might open those up so that if there are 200 people in there, you can exit from 2 or 3 places at once. Yes.
Hang on a second, Bill. You got to use the mic so the people on TV can hear you.
So the bottom edge is the existing driveway into the concierge area?
That's exactly right. So this is the outside. There's actually like a porch on the outside here. and then the the porte cochere is over here.
Thank you.
What about the mobility devices? Like right now, they're out there by the swimming pool. Where do they go? And we're all in there.
Well, we have we do have this coat storage. I mean, there will be an area out here. If people need to bring a mobility device into the space, then these side areas are actually good places for those to go as well.
And they can go in the storage when the chairs aren't
Yep,
there.
yeah.
So we got a couple of different options. Just because I know the question is going to come up. So this project right now is slated for 2028 start. It's not in the renovations that we are contemplating for 2025 start. If we do proceed with the capital campaign, this will start when everything else starts, so October 1st. So that's what we're trying to evaluate right now. So there was a question, and one of the questions that came up in the survey was, is Woodland Pond doing the capital campaign because the project is not affordable otherwise? And the answer to that is no. It's affordable in the 2028 financing. It's already contemplated in there. So I just wanted to clear that up and make sure that everybody understood that. But we were very excited to see these. To Dave's point, the chairs have not been selected yet. The remainder of the finishes have, for the most part.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a resident group that participated in those selections, the interiors group.
Yeah. The only thing I think is the fabric, which will be pretty neutral, that goes over the acoustic panels, hasn't been selected.
The carpet's been selected. All of that was the interior designers came a month ago this week,
Yep.
and brought all of the actual materials in hand from Philadelphia. And so the exec team went through with the presentation with them, and so did the resident representatives, and the selections were made from there. So we do have to select the chairs. So what we've asked of the interior design firm is to bring us multiple samples, and we will have a day when you can all put your bottoms in there and tell us if you like them.
And that's the same for new chairs for dining and other spaces as well. We recognize that that's a really, really important selection. So we want to get as much feedback as we can from everybody when it comes to chairs.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to be like a low pile though, so easy to roll on like this. We are ordering similar renderings like this for the other spaces, not every single space, but some of the ones like the newer spaces.
Wellness, fast casual, dining. Yep.
So those will, as soon as those come in, we'll get those out to everyone as well. And the intention soon is to get all of these things what's going to end up happening. We haven't really talked about this, but what my vision is that we're going to have a place dedicated, maybe outside the hostess station, where we'll have the renderings up and then also a schedule. So that we're always kind of having a schedule up so that everybody knows how to refer to that and can kind of know what to expect.
I just have a question about the acoustics, the difference between if it's a stage presentation or if it's used as an event space, say a dinner or things like that, and the differences in the necessity of the acoustic tiles that they use. Are they going to be both? Because you're having dinner sometimes, sound can bounce around. It's difficult to hear anybody.
No, it's a good point. And obviously we're not changing out the acoustic finishes in the space. But however, the speakers, what speakers will be used for different types of uses changes, and they're set up by a predetermined setup, so it's not difficult to do that. It's not, it's easy user interface, and same with the lighting as well. So I have a lot of confidence in. I used to design recording studios years ago, and the modeling that they were able to do for the sound and the acoustics was far surpassed anything that I'd seen in the past. It's very, very impressive.
Yeah, it was very important to us to make sure that an acoustical engineer was a big part of the design here. And as you can see with a lot of these things, the design work is taking a long time, but it's because there are a lot of things that we need to, imagine this room was never designed with anything acoustical except for these acoustical tiles, no stage. We've made it work, but this is just going to elevate every discussion we have, every performance. We're very, very excited about this. Ronnie?
I'm a little confused if the capital program does not go through for the new PAC, but you're going to start on the community building, and this remains a PAC, how can you do the fitness program, which is supposed to be in here?
It's possible. That room can actually continue to hold chairs. We purchased a floor though for in there that actually you can put chairs on. So I would imagine we can continue to use it even once it's a gymnasium as a multi-purpose room like this.
Yeah.
There will be a period when this is down and we'll have to come up with alternatives. We do have the great room. But there are going to be things that get moved around and shifted. But yes, the floor we purchased intentionally can hold chairs on it.
Yeah, I mean, that
For
was
the
a
gymnasium.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of those things actually early on that we determined, because we knew even with the exercise classes, you have exercise classes that people do in chairs, right? And we needed the floor to be robust for that situation. Yeah.
Dave, will there be a curtain in front of the stage?
It's a good question. We went back and forward on this, and I don't think there'll be a curtain at the proscenium. But after seeing these renderings, we love the look of the curtain as a backdrop. And so that's something that we're having a discussion about, whether we want to keep that as a backdrop. You can always swing it out of the way, and then there could be for a play, a different backdrop. But I really like this. The reason why we didn't really go with a curtain at the proscenium, it's very expensive. Costs a lot of money, but also the stage isn't that deep between the proscenium and the back wall. And so it didn't really seem like it was going to have the use of, say, setting up for a play that would be hidden by a curtain. So, that's primarily why. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Is the mic working?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This design sort of ignores two issues. One is that having rake seats is difficult for people when you have a movie or when you have something on the stage. And I think a lot of theater now related to this is that it's don't use the proscenium stage anymore. I don't think we even have to have that. I have a son who's in the theater. He's won a couple of awards. So I've seen their plays doing many different things, but they don't use the proscenium or hardly at all anymore in theater. So the question may be more flexibility in what's going to happen with this space.
So, yeah, I mean, that's one of the challenges of this space, is that it's used for many, many uses. It's used for not just presentations and so on, but, music and a lot of performances that both residents will put on and also people from the outside will put on. So I think a proscenium it just has the advantage of providing a back of house stage where we can move a piano out of the way and so on. And I think that's the reason why we have this, because it's not just for theater, it's for many, many, many uses. Yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question, but we have, as much as possible, tried to accommodate a whole range of uses, within the design. Oh, and also just the raised stage. It's a 36-inch raised stage, so I think that gives people really good sight lines. I mean, we've done the sight lines in elevation to make sure that people can see, even from the very back, what's going on the stage.
How many more questions do you want to go for?
Yeah, so do I, but I'll take a couple more. Yep.
A few years ago, there were discussions about installing a loop system in this room, which would deliver sound directly to people's hearing aids without the ambient noise. Is there some technology like that, or the more modern, that you have thought about installing in this space?
Yeah, great question. Because at first, you know, I was sort of looking more at the old technology, which was a loop, which required you know, like a wire through the floor, so that, you know, to do that. But the new approach is actually through Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so that what will happen is that you can use an app on your phone, or it will connect directly to the Bluetooth to your hearing aid. And that's deemed to be actually a lot more effective than the old school hearing loop now. You get 100% effectiveness, whereas the hearing loop I thought was fantastic, but apparently that used to have its problems as well. So I feel like, you know, we have the right solution there that'll work for people. Not in this size auditorium. Yeah. Yeah.
Joe, do you still have yours? Okay. Quick question, quick answer. Are you planning to put a set of speakers in the back of the room as well?
Yes.
Thank you. Dave, I understand that we're talking about, for the moment, a project that's going to commence in 28 unless the capital can't be effective. I also understand there's going to changes in the construction schedule for parts of the community building that has not previously been discussed. Do you have time to discuss it, how it's going to be financed, and also how the logistical demands of multiple projects going on simultaneously will be met?
Yes, I can answer that. So that's exactly what we're going through at the moment. So the way that we've increased our debt capacity. We had a greater debt capacity than originally thought. We were originally going to borrow $23 million. We're now going to borrow $32 million, or be bonded for that. And so that's where we are able to do everything in the first phase. Now, your second part of the question is, how do we do everything at once? It's still going to be phased. So, you know, there will be, it's not like everything gets started at once. Day one, the additions to the exterior of the building will all start at once, because we want to do get our foundations in the fall before winter comes. So the new portions that are added to the scope from when we first started this are administration, art room, which is the existing salon. So they're additions to the building, and they'll come out of the ground straight away in order to beat the winter. But then when it comes to this room, will be one of the later ones to happen for purely the reason that you're saying. We need to be able to create new spaces for activities to happen in before we can start to work on, you know, this space, for example. Meeting rooms, that's going to be a little bit of a juggling act, but we're sort of identifying our ways around that. Yep. Yes. Yes. Very soon. The question was, are we going to renew the logistics group? So we'd met as a logistics group a couple of times, and then we realized, okay, we're a little bit ahead of our timetable here. But with this, what's happening over the last week and the discussions with Wilson around scheduling, I actually thought, I think on Monday or Tuesday this week, I was thinking, oh yeah, we've got to get that happening again. So thank you. Paul. Yep.
Paul, hang on.
Will it still be, when someone has a question, will it be past the mic? Or will the acoustics allow for direct question?
We'll have mics in the room, but it's a good question. Certainly in some of the smaller meeting rooms, we don't anticipate needing mics, but in the larger auditorium, I think we'll still need some mics for some people. Yeah. So really, really hard to be able to pick up everyone's voice, you know, in a large room like that.
The wall on the left, is that now the exterior wall of the present library?
That's right. Yes.
So the existing wall in the library goes away and this is put up in its place.
Well, the existing wall remains, but the windows in that wall will be blocked off, because they will be, actually they align with the storage area. So you have an acoustic buffer between the two spaces.
Did you ever see in an ICU in Albany, they had windows and projected on the windows was the image from a camera outside so that the patients in there still got the feeling that they knew what was going on in the world. How about that?
It's fancy. It's a good idea. It sounds expensive, but I think if there's a sense of natural light coming in there, you'll still have the windows above, which I think will help. But at the moment, we're really concentrating on, artificial light in the library.
Is the north entrance by the library remain the same, or is that?
Yeah, yes, it does. Yeah. Is that it? All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Once again, email me if you have any more questions or stop me in the hallway.